Joining us now is Coach Sesi Toyin. She is the CEO of 402 Coaching Company. And we're turning down to the theme of the whole conference, the past 2 days, leading through challenges, building sustainable and inclusive enterprises. There has been a lot of talk around succession planning, particularly today. So from your perspective, how would you say effective succession planning contributes to building organizations that are both sustainable and inclusive, especially in the challenging and changing times that we're in right now?
Thank you very much for that question. Like you said, the theme of the conference is leading through change. So it's just a process of change. Succession planning is actually a process of change. It's a process of moving from what was to what is. It's a strategy. It's using a strategy that will work for present modern day challenges. So we cannot use the old model or what worked before for today's challenges. Like we know with the advent of AI, the advent of practically six generations under one organization, under one roof, in one organization. So you can imagine how we have different behavioral patterns, emotional patterns, thought patterns, and leadership styles. So succession planning, right, is the belief, or rather the partnership between the present leadership and the upcoming leadership. And that alone, the marriage of that, the agreement of that, and the partnership of that alone is so powerful that it can erupt new and innovative ways of doing things. It's the way forward. I love the discussion, especially from Fela Durotoye's wife, Tara. It was very powerful and very thought-provoking. Succession planning is the way forward in today's challenging climate.
And we look forward to seeing businesses that survive beyond their founders.
Yes.
And from your experience, what would you say is the key elements that makes an effective succession plan, and why do so many organizations struggle to implement one successfully?
The key elements, like I talked about, behavioral patterns. A lot of people want to still use the same old methods, and they do not want, like I said, succession plan is a partnership. You have to be able to listen to the people behind you, the people coming behind you, their challenges, and then also realize that your own archaic models cannot necessarily work and bring about innovation. The key challenge, number one, behavioral patterns, thoughts patterns, belief systems, because we believe that what worked in our time will work in this time, and it's not true. Those are the internal factors. Then we have the external factors, political factors, and all other things. So there are so many hurdles, but there is nothing that there's nothing that doesn't have a solution, and there is nothing that cannot be surmounted. Yes, with the right kind of environment, building the right kind of climate condition in that organization. Yes, a solution can be found. The few challenges, the internal challenges and the external challenges, are what I just stated. Yeah.
And speaking of succession, how do you think organizations can identify as well as groom potential leaders early enough to ensure a smooth leadership transition, as opposed to bringing a complete outsider and just plant as the ED who hasn't been through the processes and procedures of the company?
Well, it's a two-way thing. They can use an insider and a completely different outsider too as well, because the outsider will bring in fresh perspectives. So mentorship is the vehicle or the strategy to carry out this process. Mentorship is very, very important. You know, we've even known about mentorship from the times of the Unwa boys and all of that, when the locals from the eastern part of Nigeria will mentor the young boys in business and show them how it is done. It is a very, very vital, I would say it's a very vital tool to use in carrying out the process of succession planning and change process. So having both is good. Having an internal person is good. Having an external person is good, because they bring fresh perspective, fresh insights, and they can actually show you your blind spots, you know.
I mean, we understand that perspective, bringing an outsider, the fresh perspective, but how do you also ensure there's a smooth transition and there's still that harmony being maintained and the person is seen as, okay, our own, and let's go along with where he leads us?
And that's where consultants come in. I'm a change consultant, change management and sustainability consultant. That's where we come in to be able to ease in the change process, to be able to let them know that, okay, this is not something to disrupt, but this is something to help. So of course, the process is going to be kind of some unlearning, relearning, and learning that's going to happen. But bringing in a consultant, yes, to let them know that we're on your side and this is for the betterment of both the organization and the people as well.
And as a leadership coach yourself, how do you see coaching, mentoring, how do you see those things contributing to a successful succession plan within an organization?
Coaching is a very powerful tool. It's a tool we're embracing now in Africa. It's something we have been doing, but we haven't found a name for it yet. We've been doing it since the days of old, as in having like the monarchs and the kings and all of that coach people through processes. Bringing it now into organization in a structured format is going to help not just leadership, it's going to help the starters, and it's going to sustain whatever change you're trying to achieve, and it's going to help you drive your process smoothly. That is the purpose of coaching and consulting. And coaching is a two-way thing. So it's not necessarily telling the people what to do, but it's listening to them and finding out how well they can drive that change. That is the difference between coaching and actually telling a person what to do. So it's a partnership. Yes.
Right. And looking at today and the pace of change that we're seeing in the business environment, what would you recommend, and how would you recommend that organizations evolve and navigate their succession planning strategies to remain resilient and future ready?
There's so many ways, but without forgetting the external factors, putting most especially into consideration the external factors, the climate in which your organization operates in, whatever climate you're in, that alone, considering, knowing and being aware and letting the people know that we're aware of these external factors that is affecting both the organization and you as a person, I think that shows some form of humanity, and you're not just having this robotic approach towards people and their main livelihood. So that acknowledging people, acknowledging what they stand for or their situation and the climate they're in, that's the first step. And then, yes, carrying through the process by working with them. So how do we do this? How do we meet the KPIs, and how do we achieve whatever it is we're trying to achieve? That in itself is leadership. I think that is the new leadership Africa needs, a leadership with soul, structure, strategy, and not just theories.
Thank you very much for your insights, Coach Sesi Toyin, the CEO of 402 Coaching Company.
Thank you.
Pleasure having you.
Thank you.